Hello everyone, I hope you guys are having a wonderful day and making some really good trades as per usual. And as you guys can probably tell, we had a very nice reversal day in the SPY and the triple Qs as well, up over 1.42%. And we actually pierced the previous high here. And we have made another all-time high in the triple Qs. The IWM held in there. We actually had a bit of a down day in the early half of the day, but a very strong tail with significant buying. Sorry, I'm burping there. But overall, a very good day in the markets. Congrats to all that were long. You know, you guys are making some nice gains. Now, it looks like this could potentially break out in the S&P. The triple Qs is already giving us a hint that this wave 2 could have already finished, and we may not see this level right here, right? So this could have like truncated or something, and you know, maybe the ABC didn't happen like we wanted to, which means this is already finished and we could be off to the races, right? And if that's the case, then we are entering a wave 3, which would be extremely bullish. So right now we have a breakout, right, on the 4-hour time frame on the RSI, and I did talk about that breakout and the retest and, you know, the confirmation. So we broke out from the RSI, we came back down, we retested, and now we're off to the races. The daily time frame, very similar situation, except on the daily, I don't think you've broken out just yet. If we take a look at it on the daily, we drag it down. Yeah, so the daily needs to prove itself on the S&P. It needs to break out tomorrow or in the coming week. And after that, you'll get confirmation and you'll be off the races. But I think the triple Qs is already giving us a hint that we are breaking out. So again, this is very bullish for the markets. You know, and this is why, you know, every dip that we get, it's not guaranteed to get so much follow through, and you know, we may not get all these buying opportunities. Let's head over to some individual names. Actually, in just a few moments, I want to cover the SPY on the daily time frame, and we're going to be covering the 4-hour. So we do have bearish divergence, but it doesn't mean that we have a top just yet. We have increasing green money flow, which means these dips can be bought, right? And we look at the futures at the moment. We are printing a green dot and possible confirmation on the daily time frame. The 4-hour has confirmed a low down here, right? And we got a nice rally as well. And when we look at the SPY, we actually got a nice confirmation of a green dot as well on that last candle. So when we open the next candle tomorrow, this will have confirmed. So we should get a continued rally, unless, you know, we get a lot of bad news, but it doesn't look like that's going to be happening anytime soon. Futures, you're not really getting any selling. If anything, you got a lot of buying on these dips. So it's only natural that we're seeing, you know, the market continue to push up. All right, let's get over to the individual names here. Today we'll start off with good old Bucks. Starbucks up over 1.71%. A very nice day for Starbucks. Let's take a look at the 4-hour here. So it looks like on the 4-hour, you have a bit of a downsloping trend line here on the RSI, and now you are breaking out. So this is really good news for Starbucks. You could have possibly ended the downtrend here. You even have this downsloping trend line, and you're starting to break out. So it looks like my buy area wasn't that bad. I mean, it could have been better, but you know, not everything's always going to be picture perfect. I think I had did something like this, and we could have gone lower maybe, but I forget how I calculated this one. I think it was on the smaller time frame that I calculated it on. I think maybe it was like something like this, and it had dragged the target down here. But regardless, Starbucks hit the buy area, and now it's starting to come out back into it. We pierced it a couple times on the daily, but we didn't really confirm, and now we're going back up. So again, the wave 2 should come back up to 102, and after that, once we get to those levels, I expect a continued you know, trend towards the downside, which should be a wave 3. Now let's get over to Roku here. So Roku getting a bit of a down day today as well, but was bought up. So it looks like Roku could be in its wave 3 finished here. So maybe we're back into wave 4. But when I look at the price action, on the daily time frame. Usually you do not want the wave 4 to cross the low of the wave 1, right? So if this is the case and we start to break back above 85, 86, then you will have the same situation in the S&P where the C leg has finished earlier before hitting our target, and we are not going to get this opportunity, and we're going to start to rally up, right? This is why I said some stocks are in their buy area and some stocks aren't, right? When we look at Tesla, right? Tesla is in the buy area at the moment, and we have pierced it just a little bit, kind of like SBUX. And at the moment, I am long Tesla. I have a long position on Tesla. Looking at the 4-hour, we have a very steep downtrend, lots of panic selling, a very nice ABC in my opinion. And now we should be coming out of it in a wave 3, which should be extremely bullish, and we should easily come back up to the like $300 area, right? I know it doesn't seem attainable now, but trust me, like these wave 3s is something that you don't want to miss. And if this is a wave 3 low, right, something like where we got a bottom on the SPY, let's say this is the low, then you don't want to miss these moves, right? Because they can be very parabolic and they can have a V-shaped recovery. So Tesla is looking really good at the moment for a potential long position. And again, you do whatever you want, do as you will, but this is what I'm doing with my current trades. And again, you can actually extend this lower, so it can go lower in terms of the buy area. It can go as low to the 1.272 and the 1.618. But when you look at the RSI, just look at how oversold it is at the moment on the 4-hour. The 1-hour is already starting to form bullish divergence, right? A big pump up and you're breaking the trend, and it's over basically. The daily time frame, similar situation. You're getting into some oversold area. The stochastics have reset. You are ready to go up, right? Same thing. Look at the IWM, right? We had a nice little retrace, and then look at the amount of how much the RSI came down on the daily. So you're just burning that RSI towards the downside and just getting it ready for another pump up. So the IWM almost hit my target, and at that point it would be set up for a long position and a nice reversal back up to potentially 210, 220. All right, let's cover Apple here. So Apple at the moment getting some very nice follow through in a wave 2 here. It should come up to the 189 to 192 area, at which point you should start to see some resistance. After that, you could get a possible retrace, maybe to some lower levels. I did say that this could have been the B wave low, right? As we did not invalidate it with the A wave being the even lower, a lower low, and then after that the B wave retrace, and then the C leg follow through, and then in a 5-wave move up. So if we're getting like on the smaller time frames, and you want to count the 5 waves, then you can go ahead and do so. But I'm not going to do that at the moment. It's quite hard to count these small waves, and you could be already in the 5th wave, or you could still be in the 3rd wave, right? So something like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you're basically in your 5th wave, and you're going to be finishing up anytime now. Let's take a look here at nat gas. So unfortunately, natural gas today had a pretty big down day, and it actually came, I believe, let me see, where's my chart? This is my chart. There we go. It's still in our buy area, but we had the nat gas numbers come out, and they were not that great. We actually had higher inventories than expected, which caused the price to get another decline. It's still in the buy area, but again, just have your stop set here below 2.678, because if we are going to go lower, then you want to stop out and just wait to see what the price action is going to tell us. When we look at wave edge here, I don't think you are getting any more buying. You did get some buying here already. You're not getting any at the moment at these current lows. You're getting some on the 15-minute there. Again, do whatever you want with your positions, but just know that we could go lower, right? And we could technically do something like SBUX where we go past the buy area and stop some people out. And the 200-day is right around there too, so we could tag the 200 before we start to rally back up. But still, again, I think natural gas is very bullish at the current market prices. Let's head over to oil. So oil actually had a nice little update today and is should continue maybe to go back up. It can still go back up, and maybe you can invalidate this whole extended wave 2, and you could still be in this wave 2, which means it's still in an ABC, which is a very long AVC, but I mean these can take some time to play out, I guess. So if this is the extended wave 2, then this is just a very long ABC, and oil can move slow sometimes, but it could also move very quick. So there's an alternate scenario for this one, or it could just be an extended wave 2. So you just gotta be patient with it and just see how it plays out. All right, let's move on to the DXY and the 20-year yield. So the DXY, again, it's hammering back on its 200-day moving average. It is trying to break above it. If it does manage to get above it, which I mean, right now it's in a pretty strong uptrend, so I would expect this to continue up in an ABC. So let me see here. Where's my? Oh no, that's not it. So it should continue up, and then once it is finished, then you'll get your retrace, and in a final C leg down in a 5-wave move. But you don't have any indication of any top just yet. Looking at market cipher, DXY can continue up. That's not it. There we go. The DXY can continue up on the daily time frame. We even have confirmation of the trend on the daily. So again, this can easily keep going. Yeah, see there you go. You got a bit of a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 count in a C leg. So if this was the bottom of the B wave, get on the right chart. If this was the bottom of the B wave, right, a very quick B wave, then in that case you're in a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you're in your 5 final leg up, right? So again, if this goes up, I mean, technically the markets should go down, right? We had a bit of an update today in the DXY, but the markets didn't really seem to care. If let's say it finishes right here, then in that case the C leg has achieved its minimum requirement, which is getting above the A wave. And after that, you could really start to head towards the downside, but we'll keep a close eye on it, and we'll see what the yields are doing. The yields are actually continuing to climb, so there's a lot of bullishness in the market, but is it warranted? So this is why, are we really breaking out? We have these conflicting data points, right? But the Nasdaq is looking very bullish at the moment, and it's already giving us hints that we could be breaking out on the other indices as well. Okay, I think that's about it. Let me cover a few bank stocks here. We can take a look at some Canadian and some US bank stocks. Let me just cover JP Morgan. I thought I had done JP Morgan already, but JP Morgan looks like this was a nice little 5-wave move, and it's basically in its final leg right here, right? So I think JP Morgan could be finished technically, and if it is starting to head down, which would not be favorable for the markets, because if the banks go down, that's usually a bit of a headwind that it's not gonna be a good time. Financial institutions are the backbone of the market, right? The loans are done there, everything is done there. So if that's the case, then you're gonna come back in an ABC, and then you'll you'll reset, and you'll have another cycle up if that's the case. All right, let's head over to we'll take a look at TD. We'll take a look at TD Bank. So TD Bank, has unfortunately had some pretty rough times lately. It failed to confirm the breakout, and it's dropped basically 10% or 8.5% since its peak here. We could run it through our indicator, take a look, see what's going on. Also, these Canadian banks aren't the greatest. But yeah, let's take a look at TD. I'm not a big fan of banks in general as an investment, but you do what's best for you, right? So looking at the weekly, no real significant green money flow. Let's look at more larger time frames. Okay, so the daily time, the monthly time frame is showing an extension higher, so we should extend higher. You have confirmation with a green dot in December, which means this should technically keep going up, right? So maybe if this is the case, then TD is essentially getting ready in a wave 2 here, and you're getting ready to do a cycle higher, right? You're getting ready to do something like this, and after you make a new all-time high, and maybe you'll start to come back down. But this, you really need the markets to have a blow off top scenario where the SPY needs to continue up like I have it going on here in a wave 3 fashion in the coming months up until maybe April or maybe until March. Who knows? That's usually when the lending is going to be finished. They're going to pull back that 300 billion from the market, and liquidity will probably be drained, and then we'll take it day by day. We'll see how the market reacts. But right now, you can see manipulation. You're probably going to come back down just a little bit lower and do this a similar ABC like it's shown here, right? So if that's the case, then you're going to do something like that, and then you'll come down to maybe this double bottom at 54. Okay, all right. So that's basically it. Let's take a look at. There's actually some regional banks I want to take a look at to see what's going on with them. So same thing with First Horizon. A bit of a similar situation. Okay, so actually First Horizon could be a nice little setup here. It's starting to curl in on the daily time frame. Looking at the 6 hour, it's already confirmed. 4 hour confirmed as well. So this is showing a B wave retrace and an extended wave, which means your wave 4 here should extend deeper. And once it does, then you can maybe get a better buying opportunity, right? And maybe you'll get a deeper momentum wave with a bigger green dot, and then you can go higher in the 5th wave. But for this to happen, you need the IWM to continue rolling over. If the IWM takes off, these regional banks will take off with it, and they'll go higher, right? And then they'll start to recover, because this means the lower rates are going to lower, and everyone's getting very excited for that. Anyways, that's about it. Don't really have much to add. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Peace.